Good evening, potato chips. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shock, and well, we've come there. We've got the last video for 2001, and this has been the video I've been looking forward to more than anything. One of my goals in knife collecting and this hobby of EDC stuff as well was this year to search out and try and get different brands of UK makers knives. I also found some EDC things that I want to give awards to, and these are my awards to the companies that I have dealt with, and that I hope that they. In fact, I know three of them. I've already ordered knives off them, so there's more of them to come next year, which I'm really looking forward to. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, because if there's not already videos on the knives, there will be going into the new year. I've done some reveals and sort of first impressions, but I've still got an awful lot of full reviews after I've used the knives. And these reviews are important to me because they're the ones that I want to know that I'm giving you the correct information about these knives. Because buying British knives, much like American, Australian, Canadian, we want the very best, and all Europe. And I collect from all around the world. But this is just my own wee bit of the world that I really want to promote and show people where they can go for knives. They're out there. You just have to look. So I'm going to continue that into the new year and really focus on trying to find new knife makers in the UK. Now, the one section I've left off here is fixed blades. I will do a fixed blade award ceremony in the new year. All of my fixed blades are down my caravan, and as you know, I've had shingles. I haven't been out, still not been out, can't get rid of the blooming things, but I'll do a review of my fixed blades and maybe show some other ones that were in the running this year in the different categories that I've got down the caravan. So let's not waste any more time. I've already wasted 2 minutes. And I'm just going to start. I'm going to go through them. There'll be videos of all these things on my channel somewhere, whether they're first impressions or not. But don't worry, if you can't find one, the new year, nearly most of these will be getting a full review. So let's get started. So I've put down UK artisans because I want makers and artisans. So I wanted to also collect things that I see on the American websites, which is the one I see most knives on, that are sort of, I hadn't seen them over here, or I hadn't found the companies over here that make them. So I'm going to highlight a few of them in the artisan section, which is another EDC I'm getting more and more into. So here we go. Here's the first one that sits at the top of my board and has done for this last month or so. This is a Swiss Army knife. Well, that's not from the UK. No, it's not. But the covers are. These are brass covers that are made by a company in the UK. I've actually got my PPP initials on there. They've done for me, but they can put names or wedding anniversaries, You can use these as wedding gifts. This is just a small Victorinox. They do all sorts of different Swiss Army knives. They'll do brass and all sorts of different covers, titanium. So made by Parallel. There's a video on this. Go and see that, and there's information where you can contact them. These are amazing. I'm not a great Swiss Victoria lover, as you know, but I absolutely love this. I was actually using this just before the video to clean my nails. But it's just a useful little article, whether you want to have it on your keyring or throw it in your pocket. It is stunning. So that's made by Parallel, and they win the award for just their innovation. Not their innovation, because they weren't doing anything really new, but they were doing it here in the UK, so that I don't have to spend money on import tax and getting things into the country. So really pleased they're doing that. Please go over and give them some support. The next one is a leather company, and this is just one of a few leather companies that this year were very generous to me and supplied me with knives. This has been my probably most carried leather pouch for knives that I've had all year, because it takes so many different sizes, from boys' knives up to, nice twin blade, Shatton Morgans, things like that. I use this so much. It's so pliable now. I mean, I oiled it because you do. If you want your, it's so pliable, it's beautiful. There's a knife in there that I don't want you to see. But so this is HS EDC. Please go and visit them. He has a wide range. This one is fantastic. He's brought another one out where he has widened this sort of coffin end. He's made it a bit broader at the bottom so you can get an even better selection of knives in. So I hope to get that in the new year. But HS EDC, top awards this year go for their leather work. I'm really, really pleased with them. And the next one, a pen, an EDC pen, a handmade pen. So all these things are done by hand. That's why they're artisans. This is drilled out, put together, everything done on a mill. This is Swarf pens, and this is their small one. This is their aluminium version. They do stainless steel, they do brass. I'm sure they do other things. Then he does different sizes. This is a small one, which I wanted to put in a slip, an EDC pen, because I love having a pen on me. And it's much like knives, until you start carrying one, you don't realise just how much you like having a pen on you and how much you use it. And you're that person that somebody says, have you got a pen? Yes, there you go. Oh, Paddy's got the pen. Good on Paddy. So I like that part of it as well. It's nice to be helpful to other people. And it gets a conversation started. Why have you got that? Where did you get that? And I can bring everything in my EDC into that one question. And this next one's a very special one because, yes, we have UK makers that make traditional and artistic folders. But we have very few companies over here in the UK. In fact, I don't really know of any more yet that do folding knives that are modern. And this year, a friend of mine, Carl Pearson, he decided to design a knife himself, and then he got it made in China, which most of the top-end knives now are made in China. I have no problem, so let's take that out of the way. And this is it here. This is the Who Knives V1. The V2 is on the way, which will be a thumb stud, which will give us another option. It's in titanium. It's in M390. It's got a beautiful thin pocket clip, which is getting more sturdy ones. This is the only thing that was wrong with this knife, in my opinion. It's a bit of a weak movie pocket clip. But the rest of this knife, let me tell you, lovely pivot on it. It's not just plain. It's a lovely little pivot. I love this. That's like every other knife you hear opening. It just opens. Lovely. This is UK legal. So this blade is under 3 inches. It's UK legal. Even the flipper is UK legal. A lot of people don't think they are, but at the minute they are. Now, that could change, but at the minute, this is absolutely legal. The best part about this knife is this. It's a slip joint, so there's nothing holding it there but a double detent. Double detent open, double detent close. How cool is that? I have a video up on this in the channel. I have a full one to do on it. Let me tell you, this knife, titanium M390, comes in at about £110 on a site at the moment. I think he's got more of them coming. If he hasn't got many, don't worry, he's more coming. And don't forget, most of these makers are small makers. You might have to wait a while to get one of their knives, but that's okay. It's worth waiting for £110 titanium M390. The fidget factor is beyond, really is beyond. It is so easy to use and handle. And you can anodize this. There is a company in the UK. I haven't used them yet, which is why I'm not sort of advertising them. But I want to get this anodized, so I'll send it away to him next year, and I'll show you the results of that. So this is Who Knives, Carl Pearson. His name is on the back of the blade there. There you go. Carl Pearson from Scotland designed this himself, sent away, done all the work himself. And, well, I think he has another partner, but see, he's the only one I know. But they got this made. And a UK-friendly modern knife that will suit anybody's collection who really likes modern knives, or like me, who likes both. So well done, Carl. Yours is the modern, not a traditional, but it's a modern knife for the 21st century. This is just fantastic. And if that's his first offering, what's the next one's going to be like? So congratulations to Carl on winning that award. The next one is going to come down. You'll see 9 knives here. So this is 10 knives that I have got this year from the UK makers. And I'm just going to touch on them briefly, and then I'm going to tell you which one was my favourite for this year of 2021. So first of all, they're not all new, which is the nice thing about knife collecting. And you know, especially more when you get over here on Etsy, you can actually buy knives. It's about the only outlet for buying secondary knives properly. Now you can do it on the Facebook groups and that, but I'm just talking about companies. I mean, eBay over here, you can't buy knives or very little. So Etsy, I tend to go on and I look for older makes of knives. This is an Arthur Wright. It's a Barlow. It's in horn. I managed to pick this up for, I think it was about £20. It's an absolutely beautiful knife. It's an older knife, not that old, but really functional work knife. The blade centering's maybe not the best on this one, but it's an older knife and this is the way I bought it, and I'm quite happy for a working knife as long as everything else about it and it's fit and finished. The rest is absolutely fine. The back, it's absolutely fine as a work knife, as it was intended to be a work knife. So there's what I got. Here's another little tiny, much older knife. This is a George Wolstenholme two-bladed jackknife with a serpentine and plastic. Is that I think it is plastic. Yeah, I think it's just plastic. This has got a lovely clip point with a long pull, and then it has a lovely little pen blade. Now, this knife has been used. I have sharpened it a bit, but this is not one that, you know, it's a little bit bigger than a peanut. So it is a handy wee knife if you're in shorts and you want to throw something in. I have a bit of work to do on it yet. I haven't carried it properly yet, and I will do, but a lovely plain cartouche there on the front. Just a beautiful little knife. Again, these are all under £20 knives that you can find on Etsy, and you just have to be patient and go through all the companies that do it on Etsy, and there's a lot of them. Just type in antique knives, especially if you want to collect older ones, and I have amassed a good collection of older ones, which I'll show next year. Now, here's two of the newest ones that I've got from UK makers. This first one is from Ian Underwood, who is a knife maker in Sheffield, who makes knives for some of the bigger companies. I think he works for Eberson's at the moment. This is a handmade knife by him, fully handmade by him, and I think it's beautiful. Micarta G10 spacer, lovely big, like a bird eye rivet there. Absolutely gorgeous. Fit and finish on this knife. Absolutely beautiful. Now, this is a custom knife because it's handmade by one person. And it's just beautiful. A really lovely knife. Again, the one thing that these next two that I think the attention I would recommend, and I know I'm nobody to recommend, but the blades, they need to be tidied up at the juncture here. Either put a sharpening choil in and maybe thin the blades down just that little bit. But apart from that, for a custom knife that you're going to get for around £75, well, they go £75 and up. But to get that up things, there's a couple, you know, tiny wee things that I think they really need to improve. Now, does that make these substandard? Absolutely not. I've ordered 2 more knives from these 2 reviewers just this week, and I'm getting upgraded steel on them because I wanted to get, these are, you know, not lesser steels. This is C70 and the other one's SF100. They're okay steels, but I'm getting 14C28 on this, a new one from this maker, and I'm getting, I think I'm getting 01 tool steel on the other one. Absolutely smashing. So this one and the next one that I'm going to show you are proper custom knives from people who are working in the trade, and they're now doing it for themselves a little bit just to make a few pound. This is a beautiful knife. This is Stephen Cocker. Really nice knife. Beautiful. Fit and finish is really, really good. A little bit, a few gaps up here, but again, this is a handmade knife. He jigs, this is wood, this is green wood, I can't remember the name, but it's green wood, and he does all the jigging himself. He does the jigging and bone as well. Absolutely super knife, and I'm really glad to have got both of these knives, from new makers to me, although they're knife makers for bigger companies, they're branching out on their own, and I'm really looking forward, because they're at a price people can save and buy. They're realistically pricing their knives, which is great. The realistic pricing of them, and hopefully going forward they'll do nothing but improve on the custom side, and then the prices will go up, but then the quality of the knife's going to go up, and that's great. The next two are two of the biggest companies that we have over here in the UK. One's Taylor's Eyewitness, and I have a couple of these Barlows, as you know. I tried to give one away in a giveaway, and I just couldn't. It broke my heart. This is a Taylor's Eyewitness. This one's in desert ironwood, which the configuration, unless you see this in hand, you'll never know just how fine the grains are in this desert ironwood. It is done. If you go onto some of my Instagram posts, you'll see the configuration better in this. But this is a beautiful knife. Stunning, stunning knife. One of the top ones in my collection. Quite expensive, but you'll see reviews of this and the other ones that I have on my channel. Just go back and have a look. Taylor's Eyewitness. And if you want to get any of these knives like Taylor's Eyewitness, Arthur Wright, just go on Instagram, or not Instagram, what's that other web thing? Oh yes, Google. Just go on to Google and just type in UK knife makers, or type in whichever one you want, Taylor's Eyewitness, or the other one is Arthur Wright. Just type them in, they'll come up, and it shows you the shops that sell them. Now, there's a waiting time for some of them, because again, these are very small businesses. This is not your big case. This is small businesses. Much like GEC, they can't do the quantity that the bigger companies can do. So, this is one of their work knives, which is about £30. Absolutely cracking. It's, you know, it's a similar shape. The shield's the same. You don't have the glossy finish. You don't have the fancy wood. This is just a hardwood. But the fit and finish on this particular model, these are work knives. And a lot of the UK farmers, builders, they buy these for work because they don't mind if they lose or abuse them. They're just fantastic work knives with a good backspring on them that makes working an awful lot safer, especially if you're being careless. So we're down to the last of the makers that I got this year. This is my find of the years, and I'm going to have to thank Slick Slicers for nearly all of these, because he has mentioned them in the past, but I've gone out this year, searched them out, and got their custom knives. Now, these custom knives are not hugely expensive, but some of them are up there for the reason that they really use great materials. The workmanship is fantastic, and they are proud carries. But most of them are in around that sort of £100 mark, which I know is inexpensive. But this, Ashley Harrison, him and his father, actually, they own Arthur Wright and Sons. Ashley he makes knives for them, and they have a small production line. But this is knives that he's making on his own. He's improving his custom. This is a work knife. I compare the standard of this to the GEC work knives, the number 71s, the bullnose. This is as good as a bullnose, if not better. It is stunning in 01 tool steel, which sets it above it already, I think. But beautiful dark wood handles. Yes, the grain in them is lovely. That little bit of file, that's just a bit of fancy on a work knife. You don't need to get that. But hey, why not? What a conversation start over dinner when you hand that for somebody to cut their piece up. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous, good solid blade on it, down to a really good edge. Everything about this says work. I used this for my Christmas dinner. I'd cleaned all my knives off. I'd taken all the patina off. I don't know why, I was bored one night. But this came out on Christmas Day, and that patina you see on this one is from Christmas dinner. So, beautiful knife. And then I managed to bag another lovely custom from Ashley Harrison. He had been having a go at doing this over a long period of time. He just finished it, and the day he finished it, he put it up on Instagram just to show people, and I was first or second on there, and I managed to say, can I buy that, please? This was one he was making just to see if he could. And this is just, oh man, look at the work on that. On the bolsters, right along the back of the spine. It's just stunning. There's a video on this. Please go over and see it in all its glory. This is a beautiful knife just to use, but more importantly, it's a beautiful knife in my collection to show, a cutthroat type pen, but made with, in a modern sort of shape. I love this. I just truly love it. So this was Ashley Harrison's, and Ashley puts a really good back spring in his knives. I love that, as do Arthur Wright. They're a little bit stronger on the back spring than the Fancy Pants Tailor's Eyewitness, but the Tailor's Eyewitness working knives have a good, strong back spring. And we're going to come to the last one, and this is this one here. This was the first time I had contacted a custom maker, and I had asked him to make me a knife from paper, just talking him through what I wanted in a knife, and then I let him finish it because I am not an expert. I told him what I wanted. I said, Ashley, look, you go ahead and do it. This is what he came up with. And I have no fear in saying that this is my custom maker from the UK Knife of the Year. I adore this knife. It's not over fancy. It's not completely simple, but it's just beautiful. The blue bone that Ashley dyed and put on this and contoured it. You have an easy opening. Nickel silver bolsters and shield. Look at that beautiful shield. The back spring. Look at the fit and finish on this knife. It is exemplary. Beautifully up the center. Absolutely stunning. The nail nick in the right place for opening this up because there's a good strong spring in this. Look at that. A big working sheep's foot blade with an easy opening. Everything that I like in a knife, my third finger goes into there and locks me in greatly. Just an amazing knife. And I'm sure it's no surprise to anybody who follows why this is my knife of the year. This introduced me to Ashley and his father, two of the nicer men you couldn't meet. You could not meet nicer men. By the way, I get my Tailor's Eyewitness from the Bakewell Cook Shop. Bakewell Cook Shop. I just wanted to give that out there because they've been very good to me this year, and that's where I tend to buy them. Again, these are knives that are of great high quality, so you might have to wait. And isn't that part of the game? The wait is the exciting part. The wait I had waiting to get this was just off the scale because it was my first custom that I'd asked and give what I wanted to another person, and the price that Ashley makes these for is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Really, and you need to go and check these custom makers out. I'm not giving their prices out, but let me tell you, they're all very, very reasonable for whatever you're ordering, should it be the basic and the higher end. This, by far, one of my most used knives. It is stunning. Ashley, thank you very much. And thank you very much for the friendship you've showed me over this year. I've another one of his Arthur Wright knives to come in the new year. But this, without doubt, is my knife of the year for the year 2021. And I am so looking forward to next year to improving my UK collection of knives. My UK makers, my artisans. I can't wait to see what Carl Pearson does and Who Knives. I think they're going to go a long way over in this country to give those who want modern knives. And I like modern knives too. Don't think I'm just these. This is the most part of my collection now. But I still like a modern knife. And when you can combine a modern knife with modern materials and make it UK legal, and the designer is here in your country, gotta support them. All these knife makers need your support. And it should even be the little shops on Etsy that sell second-hand knives. Go and support them. There's a wide variety. The leather makers. And I have lots more, which in the UK that I've got over this year. I'll do a little video on them. Swarf pens, absolutely fantastic. Love his work. a just beautiful little EDC pen. You can get bigger. This weighs nothing. It's aluminium, which is great for EDC in your pocket or just throwing in a wee slip. But the knife of the year is the sheep's foot custom knife with blue bone scales, 01 tool steel. It's amazing. It's amazing. Handmade for me. That's a lovely way to say things. Take care, everybody. And can I just take this last chance to wish you all a very, very merry, prosperous, peaceful, happy, more than anything else, happy New Year. And I just want to say, for those in Colorado at the minute, that is horrendous out there. You have my prayers and thoughts. I will be on my knees at the side of bed tonight for a prayer for Colorado. Whatever you do, send them good wishes. And for all the rest of the people who've suffered with COVID, who are still suffering with COVID throughout the whole world, my prayers are with you. I've been very blessed not to have had to have it. So there we go. My subscribers, look, yous are amazing. Absolutely amazing that you would follow a silly old fart like myself through thick and thin, ups, downs, lack of money, plenty of money. You have stuck there and you have made my hobby what it is. And it's one of the most important things. Step down from my family and my friends. This hobby is one of the next important things in my life because I enjoy doing it. Again, I apologize for a lot of people. I'm maybe not the best interactor. That's just me. I'm maybe outgoing on the videos. Sometimes when you get me off the videos, I'm not quite that happy. This is something that enthuses me. If you talk about my family, this is what you get. If you talk about my hobby, this is what you get. I never have something not to say. Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully next year will bring us some relief from the pressures around the world. And hopefully our leaders will maybe we say we pray for themselves that they make the right decisions in every country. Take care. Paddy's gone. Thank you very much for another wonderful year.